So today, we're going to get into our Hatha practice by using a little bit of a prop. And I'm not talking about these props. I'm talking about this one here. Now, I know some of you don't have a cup, but I do want to really reference this for today, because this is going to symbolize what I'm actually going to challenge you what to do for the rest of your day. So when you think about life, there's things that can fill up our cup with joy, gratitude, love, all of those great things in life. We get more out of those moments when we can actually have more of those feelings that fill us up. Now, there's also times in our life, because life happens, there's that balance where things can drain that cup. And that is something that I want you to try and focus on, not just with your practice today, but also in your overall day. So if this is something that you're coming to your mat and you're excited to be here, you start just with like the base of that cup. This is something that's going to start filling something up. And then as we add in these movements, you might see it kind of come up. You're going to see it come down as maybe those movements you don't want to do. That's okay. But when we start to progress with our practice off of our mat in the rest of our day, I encourage you to take a look at to see what you're doing today that's going to fill your cup and empty your cup. And the challenge that you have is, can you end the day with a cup that's a little more half full? And it's really hard to do sometimes because you don't know what's going to happen today. You don't know what's coming your way. But maybe taking a step back and reflecting and pausing and maybe even just taking a breath, you can visualize your cup again and say, how can I start to fill it up again? What can I do to make this feel a little more full, a little more full of life? So that's what we're going to focus on today. It's just that little visual of a cup. And I'm going to empty my cup now and take it a sip. But at the same time, I'm filling it up. So take a comfortable seat. You can close your eyes. You can find something still to gaze at if you prefer to keep those eyes open, and do what you need to do this morning to arrive onto your mat. Perhaps it's some movement. Maybe it's some deep breathing. Maybe you just need to fix your clothing, whatever, scratch that itch. You've made it onto your mat this morning. This is the start of your day. Perhaps if you haven't done much up until this point, notice what your cup looks like at this moment, this exact time. And just like when you pull the glass out of the cupboard, it's not full, it's empty. We start from a neutral position, that scratch. So, what can you do in this moment to start to introduce a little bit of that fluid in your glass? Maybe it's sitting up a little bit taller or coming back into your breath just one at a time. Start to bring your attention to the grander things around you, the sounds that you hear, the sound of my voice, the temperature of the air that's surrounding you, hugging you in. Even notice if you can breathe through both nostrils. Now tune into those finer things, the clothing that you're wearing, the loose clothing, how it naturally moves, as you breathe. The tighter clothing as it keeps everything nice and still, hugs you in. And observe the state of the mind here. Is it racing? You have this laundry list of things that you need to do today. Or can you acknowledge that, yes, there are things that are coming up in my day, but I want to be present? Can you start to let go of those thoughts just one at a time? And perhaps digging into your senses a little bit more will help with that process. Notice the smell of the air, the taste. Maybe you just took that sip of tea and you're tasting that on your palate, or whatever you had for breakfast. If there's nothing, maybe you're just noticing there's nothing. And start to fine tune it even inward, noticing your breath, noticing how the body feels in this moment as we continue to sit a little longer. Are you starting to feel some of those sensations in the body, maybe in the hips and the back and the legs and the knees? And can we introduce a longer inhale? Pull that air in a little bit more, even holding at the top. Take that pause before you take your exhale, softly, slowly. And gently bring your hands together at heart center. I like to start my classes with a nice cleansing breath here. Take a full inhale through your nose, then exhale side out through your mouth. And give a soft release to your hands. You can flutter your eyes back open, adjust back into the light. We're going to start in a tabletop position. So if you are on a prop, come on off, and we're going to switch into your hands and knees. So come on down. First one of the morning, you're welcome to take a position or some movement here, something that's going to feel a little more natural for you to progress into our practice. So if this is your first time with me, I do leave these pockets of freestyle. Oh, chance for you to listen to your body and what it needs in this moment. So take a little freestyle here before we actually dive in to our practice. Do you need to sway the hips? Do you need to take a child's pose? Maybe you just need to do like a simple cat cow just to start to waken things up from sitting down. And these pockets are here to help fill your cup, fill your practice for something that is more beneficial for you rather than just going through the motion. So connecting your mind and your body. Come back into your tabletop position if you were, adding in a little bit of movement here. And we're going to start off with some rocks. So I want you to bring your knees just slightly behind you, a little bit wider than your hip width, and then have your toes together, just like we're getting ready for your child's pose. Now walk your hands forward enough so it's a little bit more toward the top edge of your mat. And we're just going to sink the hips down and then pick them back up. So we're rocking back and forth here to start to introduce a little bit of movement through your hips, getting into your spine, getting into those legs a little bit. You can go fast, you can go slow. You're in control here. What feels best in this moment? Inhale as you lift up, exhale as you come down. A few more times with it, maybe introducing a little more of that range of motion, full child's pose, full tabletop, even bringing your hips slightly more forward as you rock. And the next time you rise up, stay in your tabletop and come back to a nice neutral position. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, your toes can be tucked or untucked. That's more your own personal preference here. Moving through some cycles with your breath of your cat cows. Start with your inhale. We're going to sink your belly down toward the mat, melt your heart, lift your head as you look forward. On your exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back, push into your hands and look back. Again, inhale, sink everything back down, melt your heart, lift your head, look forward. Exhale, tuck and round and look back. Keep going with your own cycles of your breath here. And I encourage you to close your eyes or even soften that gaze so you can actually notice the sensations that you have here. A couple more times with it. Maybe finding a little more range of motion each time. And take that last cycle of your breath, a big inhale, and then a full exhale into your cat. Come back to a nice neutral position. We're going to extend your Right arm out to the side. So circle it out to the right, and then let's kick that right leg out as well. So when we come into this motion, you want to try to find a nice even distribution between your hand and your leg. So really open up here and see if you can get that rotation through your spine. And take a full breath in where you are. On your exhale, we're going to start to thread that needle through, but pull it back up with your inhale. So inhale, rise all the way back up. And exhale, come all the way through again. We're going to go one more time with that breath. Big inhale. And take that exhale this time. We're going to bring the shoulder down, plug it, and then extend your opposite arm out in front of you here. So now your leg and your arm are going in the opposite direction. You're looking toward your hand. And take a soft release. Pull that top arm back behind or back underneath your shoulder. Rise all the way up and then come back into your tabletop. Now, before we go to the other side, what do you need here? Do you need some freestyle? And coming back into your tabletop position, we're going to extend that left leg out and then twist. So the right arm's going to stay down. The left arm is going to reach up. And take a full breath in. Adding in that movement. Exhale as you pull that arm down and through. Go with your breath. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, pull it all the way through. One more time before we actually sink down into that thread the needle. Plug that shoulder down, reach the arm through, reach the top arm out in front of you. Look toward your hand. Each pose does serve a little bit of that filling of the cup. Do you notice if this one's filling or is it taking away some of the energy, taking away from that cup? There are going to be poses that perhaps aren't your favorite, but it's fine. It's about finding that balance for today. Slide your top arm back, rise all the way up, come back into your tabletop position. All right, from here, we're going to pick up your right leg and cross it all the way over to the left side. So bring the toes down, keep the knee lifted here. We're going to slide your foot back like you're coming into something like a pigeon position, but we're going to stay a little more upright. And then walk yourself over to the left side, even coming down to your forearms. We're looking for that stretch and sensation around the outside edge of your left hip. Come back to your breath here. The more that you create this crescent shape in your body, the more stretch or sensation you're going to feel in that hip. You know when you need to take it back a bit, when you need to come forward into it a bit more. And start to come back to a nice neutral position, pulling your foot back in, rising up into that tabletop position. Moving into the other side, crossing that left leg all the way over to the right. Slide your foot back and start to walk over to that right side, even coming down to your forearms. Gently start to come all the way out, back into your tabletop. Taking your first down dog, or maybe you just want to go a little softer for a bit longer, take a child's pose. What do you need from this moment? With our first down dog, with it being number one, take that movement, find some range of motion here that you can actively warm up through the back of the body. Start feeling that stretching sensation a little bit more. That might require you pedaling your feet out back and forth, maybe taking your feet a little wider, bending into your knees. And come on down to that tabletop position again. So we're going to play around with our down dog just for a little bit here. So make sure it's in the right position that feels the best for you. So I want you to start by bringing your hands underneath your shoulders with your palms nice and parallel. So the middle of the fingers are parallel here. Now, it's going to be a little closer together here. So I'm talking like shoulders are here generally. We're going to notice how it feels and customize your down dog for you. So once you're ready, take that step back into your high plank. This is the proper position for your hands and your feet as far as lengthwise, and then pike your hips up. So notice if you get to a point and you feel stuck. Often that's what happens when we have a little more of that internal rotation through your shoulders. Slowly come on down to your knees. Now we're going to bring your hands a little bit wider. So I'd say more to the outside edges of your shoulders. When you're ready, step back into that high plank and then pike your hips up. Notice if that feels better, just with that little bit of a difference. Now come back down to your knees. I want you to focus on your hand placement. So find the one that works the best for you, and then bring your hands turned inward a little bit. So we're having a little more of this internal rotation. I want you to feel the difference from what we're going to be doing here. So hands are turned in slightly, step back to that high plank and come into your downward facing dog. Again, maybe you feel a little stuck here. Slowly come back down. Now turn your hands out just slightly, enough that maybe those middle fingers are pointing to the corners of your mat. Step back to your plank and pike your hips up. Notice how that feels. Does it feel any better? Slowly come back down. The last one I'm going to talk about is not in your hands. It's in your elbows. I know it's a lot of down dogs. I'm sorry. So elbows. We have this ability to turn our elbows around. You can even practice it here. This is called the eye of your elbow. It's kind of weird to think that you're just like moving your arms in this way, in my opinion. But ideally what we want to see here is that eye of the elbow turned out slightly when it comes to that down dog. So bring your attention to that specific spot. Find your hand placement that works the best for you. From your tabletop, notice if you're turning the elbows in or if you can start to turn them out. Now step back into that high plank and pike your hips back up. So a lot of this position has to do with that customized hand placement. Are you finding it here? Are you feeling it here? Getting a little bit more of that release in your upper back? And start to give a nice generous bend into your knees. Look to your hands. Step, walk, or hop to the top edge of your mat. Exhale as you fold. Root down through your feet, leading with the back of your head. Inhale as you rise up. Circle those arms, reach up, look up. And exhale your hands through heart center. Now, can you find your Tadasana without fidgeting? It is so difficult. Just simply open those hands and look. Feeling the strength that your body gives you. So stay still in this moment. You're grounding down through your feet. Your legs are holding you upright. Your hips are steady. Your spine is supporting you. And keep that head clear. And take a soft release here. We're going to use your props, so make sure you have them nearby. A couple of blocks, and that foam chip block will be all that you're going to need for today. When you're ready, from the top edge of your mat, we're going to take a generous step back with your left foot and come on down to your back knee. So this is where your props are going to come in handy when it comes to your lunge. You can support your knee with that foam chip block or also fold up your yoga mat if you need to. And then have your blocks framing your front foot. So come to that highest height. You want to come into that lunge position enough that your knee is going to stop over your heel. Now, this will be one that we do progress here, but with it being still earlier in our practice, we're going to take it in levels. So notice already how the body feels in this position. Where are you feeling that stretch? Do you feel it more into that right hip, or can we pull that right hip back and send the left hip forward? So you're starting to feel more of that sensation in your quad into your hip flexor. Now, if you're already feeling a good amount of sensation, I encourage you to stay exactly as you are. If you do want to progress into a deeper lunge, bring your right hand to the inside edge of your foot and step that foot out to the side a little bit, having some of that more increasing range of motion. Now, this might be enough for you to say, hey, I got a little bit further. I feel great. I'm going to stay right here. Please listen to your body. If you want to progress, use those blocks to find that level that works for you. Is it lower? Is it lower? Is it no blocks? Is it starting to introduce your forearms coming down closer toward the floor? Just notice what happens to your body here. Do you start to sink heavily onto that right hip, or can you try to keep them nice and square to the mat? So take it out if you notice that it's taking away from your cup. It's not about how deep you can get into the pose. It's not about comparing yourself to somebody else in the room. This is about you. The hips tend to hold a lot of emotion, a lot of tension. Can you soften through your upper body to allow that stretch and that sensation to come to the surface? Relax your shoulders. Relax your hands. And soften your jaw. Just like we had these levels that took us down into that position, find the levels on the way back up. So start to introduce a little more of that range coming up, bringing your blocks maybe a little bit higher, finding that top edge, and stepping that foot more into the center as you frame your front foot. From here, we're going to send the hips back behind you, straighten out your right leg, and pull the right toes back toward you. Taking your half splits variation here, find that area that works best. We want to try to keep your back knee underneath your hips. So if you notice that you're sinking down here, I encourage you to step that foot out a little bit as we lengthen through your spine and hinge from the hips. With each breath, take that lengthening action like a string is pulling you for the crown of your head. On your exhale, can you get a little bit further down here, introducing just a millimeter more of that range? Use your breath here. Inhale as you slowly start to rise back up, decreasing that range of motion. We're going to come into that kneel position and turn to face the long edge of your mat. So we're turning to the left. Turning to the left. Yep, that knee is still supported. The leg is straight out to the side now, and you're planting your entire foot, having the toes face the left. Now from here, we're finding your gate pose as you slide your hand down your leg and bring your left arm up and over, reaching over. Keep your hips pressing forward here. Keep your shoulders opening out. If it feels okay on the neck, we can look up underneath your top arm. And come back to your breath. Observe the rib cage as it expands out. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Go with your inhale, come all the way back up. We're going to bring your hands in front of you and then just send your hips back. But that leg is still extended out to the side. Your foot is still planted here. Move with your inhales. You softly lift your gaze, look to your hands, shift forward, and then come all the way back up. And we'll move into the other side. So transition whichever way feels the best here. Maybe it's from a down dog, maybe it's from that tabletop. Bringing that foam chip block maybe underneath your right knee, grabbing onto your other two blocks and taking that step forward with your left foot. Frame the foot to start here, having that knee land right over the heel. And notice the sensations that you're having. Can you start to introduce that sensation more to the right side by squaring your hips? Pull that right hip forward. Now, the body can be very asymmetrical, so I encourage you to find that level that works the best on this side. It doesn't have to be equal on the other side, especially if you deal with any kind of an injury. If you're content here, you're feeling great, I encourage you to stay. If you want to increase that range of motion just a little bit, step that foot to the outside edge of your mat and bring your hand to the inside edge of your foot. Even turn the toes out a little bit here. Just like with our arms, having that external rotation might be enough for you to get a little bit further and find a really nice stretch here. If you want to go further, find that level that works for you. Start with your hands on your blocks as you start to lower them down, maybe your hands on the floor. If you have that range of motion, even coming down to your forearms. If you get to this point and it's like, oh shit, that's a hard stretch here, come out a little bit. We're not looking to go past a minor stretch. Notice what comes to the surface here. Can you relax your upper body, your hands, your shoulders, your jaw? And just like we came down with those levels, find those levels as you start to come all the way back up, similar to an elevator. Hit one floor at a time, rising up, stepping that foot back to the center position, and then start to straighten out your front leg. Pulling the toes back toward you. Notice if that hip is landing right over the knee or is it sinking back? Do we need to take a bit of a longer step out with your front foot? Lengthen through that spine. That string is pulling you like a puppet all the way to the corner of your room. Hinge at the hips here. Each breath, take a little more of that length. Take a little more of that depth with your exhale. And start to go with your breath as you inhale, rise all the way up. Now we're going to turn to that right side and plant the foot. I'm just going to transition here. So that left leg is extended out. The foot is fully planted, having the toes face forward now. From here, slide your hand down your leg, bring that right arm up and over. Keep the hips pressing forward, open your shoulders, even look underneath that top arm if that feels okay. Notice the breath, notice the ribs. And take one more full breath in where you are, stay. Full breath out. Slowly inhale, come all the way up. Bring your hands to the floor in front of you and send your hips back toward your heel, keeping that left leg exactly as it is. Observe the level of that cup for your practice so far, and even imagine your lungs as this cup as well. Can we fill it up with that breath? Move with your inhale as you softly start to lift your gaze, rising all the way up, turning to face the top edge of your mat, moving your props just off to the side. You can keep them near the top edge of your mat, and then come back into your downward facing dog once you're ready. We'll find that position that works best for your arms, your hands, and pike your hips up. Start to give a generous bending into your knees. Look to your hands, step up or hop to the top edge of your mat. Exhale as you take your fold. Root down, inhale as you rise up, circle those arms, reach up, look up. And exhale your hands to heart center. Try not to fidget here. Can you simply let your arms come all the way down and find your Tadasana? Life is distracting. We need to find those moments that we can simply just stay present. We're going to move through a couple of our salutations just to build a little more heat and have more of that lengthening through our body. So release your Tadasana. I know we're all like, oh my God, gotta fix it all. It's so distracting. It's all good. Inhale, circle those arms all the way up. Exhale as you dive all the way down. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Plant your hands onto your mat and step back into your high plank. Lower to your knees and exhale all the way to the floor. Untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back and down, squeeze your elbows into your rib cage. Now inhale to your cobra. Exhale as you bow. Tuck your toes, push up to your knees, and take your downward facing dog. If you find that you want a child's pose instead of your down dog, please encourage yourself to honor that. Your body's asking for that. Start to shift your weight into your left foot as you inhale the right leg up behind you. On your exhale, swing it through and place the foot between the hands. If you're down in your child's pose, make your way into that long lunge position. Now plug the back heel and rise up all the way. You got it. So we're getting ready for our warrior two, starting with the foundation. I talk about it every Sunday when I'm here, but this is what's going to set the tone for everything else to come. So your feet are firmly planted. Let's start with that back leg. It's straight and strong, pushing the outer edge into the floor. Your front leg, having the toes face forward, we're going to bend into that leg as much as you can to get that knee over the heel. Now take a glance at your front foot. Make sure you can see at least the first two toes so we're not collapsing that knee in. Check in with your hips. Are we leaning back, or can we tuck that tailbone, squeeze your glutes, and bring them more neutral? Rise up, pull your belly button all the way in. You're growing tall through your spine. The last thing to add in are your arms, bringing them out to a T with your palms down, glancing over your right finger. This is meant to feel strong, stable. Warrior two. And take one more full breath in where you are. On your exhale, windmill your hands all the way back down to the mat. Turn to face, take a step back into your high planks. Use your exhale, come to your knees and all the way to the mat. Untuck those toes, roll the shoulders back, inhale to your cobra. Exhale as you bow. Tuck those toes, push up to your knees, and take a downward facing dog. A few steady breaths here. Start to shift your weight into your right foot. Inhale the left leg up behind you. On your exhale, swing it through and place the foot between the hands. Plug the back heel and rise all the way up. All right, start from the ground up. Feet are strong. Back leg nice and straight, pushing the outer edge into the floor. Bending into your front leg. Stop when the knee is over the heel and make sure you can see at least the first two toes. Tuck that tailbone. Squeeze your booty. Pull the belly button into the spine, nice and proud through that chest. Arms are out to that T. One more full breath in. On your exhale, windmill your hands all the way back down. This time we're going to step forward to the top edge of your mat. Exhale as you take your fold. Root down, inhale as you rise up, circle those arms, reach up, look up. And exhale your hands to heart center. And stay rooted here. Last one. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant those hands, step back to your high planks. Option to use your knees, but still come all the way down to the mat. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale as you bow. Tuck those toes again, option for your knees, push back up into your high plank, and take your downward facing dog. Steady the breath here. Start to shift your weight into your left foot. Inhale the right leg up. Use your exhale, pull it through. Place the foot between your hands and plug the back heel. Grab onto a block before we rise up and place it to the inside edge of your foot. Beautiful. Same foundation here from our warrior two. So do that mental check in your brain here. Now, rather than bending into your front leg, we're going to keep it straight. We're going to head into your triangle. So straighten out that front leg. It's equally as strong as the back. That tailbone is still tucked, but now we want to kick that hip out to the left side. So rather than going back behind us, kick it out to the left. Kind of feel like you're sticking it out to the wall behind you. Reach with your arms into that T as much that you can start to have that shift. So even shift forward and back here. You can feel the core engaged. And as you come forward here, we're going to bring your hand to your block. I know some of us can get down to the floor, but again, I want to introduce that support system before we progress. We're looking for those arms to stay in a nice straight line. Your hips are pressing forward here. If you notice that you're turning your shoulders a little bit more toward the mat, that means that our hips are sticking out. So can you start to open that left shoulder and really reach up to the sky? Squeeze your glutes here. Now find that level that works best for you when it comes to your triangle. Is it here? Is it starting to lower down closer toward the floor? Maybe it's bringing your hand to your shin, or even keep it a little more active by having your hand grazing just slightly above the floor. And start to give a little bend into your front leg and rise all the way back up. Good. Take a full breath in where you are. Exhale, windmill your hands all the way back down to the mat. Inhale, step back to your high plank. Option for those knees, exhale all the way down. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale and bow. Inhale, push up. Exhale, down dog. Steady the breath. And start to shift your weight into your right foot as you inhale the left leg up. On your exhale, bring it through. Transition into that nice strong position as you rise up. The block is to the inside edge of your foot here. Create that foundation. Back leg is straight and strong. Front leg is straight and strong. Tuck that tailbone, squeeze your glutes, and start to kick your right hip to the right. Add in your arms, get that reach, have a little more of that motion so we can engage more of your core. As you reach forward, you're gonna bring that hand to your block and try to stack your body in that straight line. Open the hips, open that right shoulder. Find that level. Is it here? Is it lower? Is it more active? As long as you keep that lengthening through your spine. And give a soft bend into your front leg. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, windmill your hands all the way to the floor. This time, step forward to the top edge. Exhale, take your fold. Inhale, as you rise up, circle those arms, reach up, look up, and exhale your hands to your heart center. You take a moment in your Tadasana, settle, feel the lengthening in your body, those muscles. Give a soft release. Your turn to face the long edge of your mat. Why don't we face the mountains and the studios so we can actually maybe try to see them? We're not really there right now, but that's okay. Step your feet as wide as your wrists. Yep, so if you were to hold your hands out, your feet are nice and wide. Now from here, we're going to turn the toes out a little bit, so more into the corners of your mat, and then bring your hands to your thighs. So goddess position, this is really good for your back, getting into more of your hip flexors as well. We're gonna sink down into your squat. I want your thumbs on the inside edge of your leg. The other 8 fingers are gonna wrap around the outside edge and lock your elbows. Let your shoulders come up to your ears. I promise you it feels good. So we're already starting to feel a little more of that stretch, maybe in your upper back between your shoulder blades. We're going to intensify that stretch here. So if you know you have an injury, I encourage you to stay exactly as you are. We're going to start by dipping the right shoulder to the center. Look to the left and push into your right hand. Those knees are opening out here. We don't want them to collapse inward. Go with your breath. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale as you twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to rise all the way up. Step to the left. Step to the left. So now we're stepping toward the top edge of your mat and cross your right leg behind your left. Cross your right leg behind your left. It doesn't have to be super close. We can create some space here. The intention is to keep that back leg straight. So your right leg is straight. You're bending into your left. So if you're up here, it's going to be a little more difficult. Have more of that space. There you go. Yeah. Inhale the arms up above the head. From here, we're going to wiggle your left hand. Wiggle your left hand. Grab onto that left hand with your right and then lean to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Step out wide again to that goddess position and sink back down. Lock your elbows. Slowly start to rise back up. Step to the right. Cross that left foot behind your leg. Bring your arms up above your head. Now wiggle your right hand. Grab onto it and lean to the left. Open your shoulders, lift your chin. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring those hands back down and step out. Now keep your feet parallel. So we're tucking those toes in, even slightly pigeon-toed. Straighten your legs enough that you can actually energetically start to pull your feet together. So we're engaging your inner thighs by imagining your feet are pulling so hard that you're scrunching up your mat underneath you. Keep that. Bring your hands to your hips, stick your chest out, and hinge from those hips. Stop at the halfway point. Feel the core get engaged here. If you're not quite feeling engaged, we can add a little bit more engagement by releasing your hands and reaching straight out from the head. Yeah, so your arms are nice and parallel to the floor. Definitely feeling that strength in your body. Start to build that heat. Take one more full breath in. On your exhale, fully hinge forward here. Bring your hands toward the mat and let yourself just dangle. You're welcome to use your blocks here if you'd like. You're welcome to interlace your arms and hold onto your elbows, even sway here side to side. If you're holding on to your arms, please release your hands back down to the mat. Start to energetically pull those feet back together as we lengthen through the spine first. So lift to that about halfway point with your hands still down. Bring your hands to your hips and then rise all the way up. Beautiful. Turn to face the top edge of your mat and take a step forward. Shake things out a little bit. Widen your feet to the edges of your mat. So we're getting into our squat. Sometimes you might need a longer position with those feet, depending on how your hips feel this morning. I prefer to have my toes turned out on an angle because I know that works better for my own anatomy. So again, find what works best for you. Once we get into that position with your feet, you're going to sink your hips down, bring your hands to a prayer position in front of your heart and your elbows to the inside edges of your knees. Now check your knees. If we are very heavily coming forward and in, not in, and those heels are lifting up, I encourage you to roll up your yoga mat or grab some blocks and sit on your blocks as we practice that squat position. We want the knees to open up. We want the heels to stay down. Yeah. Just to get the benefit out of it. This is a very functional movement. It's something we should be doing many times throughout the week. It helps to encourage digestion. It helps to open up through the hips, strengthen the body. Take one more full breath in. Use your exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat, and then lift your hips up into the air. Heel toe your feet together here. Stay in your forward fold. Do what you need to do. Maybe pedal out the feet a little bit. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands down flat onto the mat, and then step back into your high plank. Use your knees as you come all the way down to the mat. Stack your hands one on top of the other, rest your forehead down, take a few cycles of your breath as you start to slow down the movement, slow down the practice. Perhaps even taking this time as a little bit of a freestyle. What is it that you need before we progress into something else? And come back into that neutral position here. We're going to bend into the left leg, reach back with your your left hand for the top edge of your foot. So you're getting into a quadricep stretch here. Now, two motions I want you to have. The first is to pull the foot in toward your buttocks. The second is to push your hips down. That's actually what's going to lengthen a little more through the top of the thigh. Remember to breathe. And start to give a soft release to your foot and gently place it back down onto the mat. Switch your hands. So now your left hand will stay down. Pull the right foot in. Use that hand to the top edge of your foot and push the hips down. And give a soft release to that foot. Place it all the way back down. Take a moment here. Observe if there's areas in the body that perhaps that doesn't quite agree with. Is it the lower back that's starting to feel that tension? You're welcome to stay and simply be. We will progress into our bow pose as we pull both feet in toward us, grabbing on the tops of your feet. And you may just want to stay here. Maybe this is your start of your bow and you're starting to introduce that range of motion throughout your spine. If you do want to progress, we're going to kick the feet into your hands. Your shoulders are going to lift up. Your chest is going to lift up. Maybe your knees are going to lift up as you lift your gaze, look forward. Take your exhale, come all the way down. Let your arms stay down the sides of your body and turn your head to one side. Bring your head back to neutral, maybe trying it one more time, pulling your feet in, looking for perhaps a little more height. Start to kick those feet in, lift off. Use your exhale, come down, release, and turn your head to the other side. Take a breath. Start to slide your hands underneath your shoulders, push up into your tabletop, and find a child's pose. A little bit of that counter position here, allowing some curve in your back. These can be wide or narrow, your preference. Take one more long breath in. Then a full breath out. Move with your inhale, slowly lift your head, look to your hands, walk your hands back toward your legs, and then shift your weight onto one hip. Allow your legs to come out in front of you. From here, we're going to extend your left leg straight out onto the mat and pull your right foot in. So let's keep that foot to the inside edge of your leg, just maybe like a couple fingers away from your actual leg itself. So you have a little bit of that space. We're going to lengthen through the spine and then wrap your left arm around your legs. You're hugging the leg in, but keep that nice tall spine. Now notice your left foot. Is it limp? Is it dead? Can we activate it? Pull the toes back a little bit so you have a little more of that lengthening through the back of your leg. Give a soft release, slowly come all the way back to center here. We're just going to let that right knee open out. You're welcome to support it with a block or something underneath as well if you feel like you get to a point it starts to extend a little bit too much. Now keep the toes active of that left foot. We're going to sit up nice and tall and then hinge from the hips just briefly here before we actually round and let go. So you're still targeting more of the back of the leg here. Leading with your chin, trying to get it to your shin. And then we're going to soften, allow some rounding to kick in. This is a lot more of a passive position to be in. You're letting go of that muscle tension, maybe supporting your head with a block that's on your knee in between. We're looking to let go here. Finding a nice steady breath. If you did want to add in an additional little twist here, we can bring your right hand to the outside edge of your shin and then swing those left fingertips back behind you. So you're turning to the left side here. If you get to that point and you were content where you were with just that normal fold, come back in. If you're in that subtle twist, slowly come all the way back to center. Take one more full cycle of your breath here, a big inhale, and a full exhale. Now go slow. We can often feel fragile coming out of any kind of a fold. Rise up, straighten out that right leg. What kind of movement do you need here for your freestyle? Do you need to just kind of shake things out? Do you want some windshield wipers? Do you like a reverse tabletop? Whatever it is that you need here. Moving into the other side, extend your right leg straight out. Pull the left foot in. Keep it a couple of fingers away from your leg and flex your foot. Grow tall through your spine. Start to wrap your arm around your leg, twisting to the left. Use your inhale, slowly come all the way back to center. Drop that left knee open. Support it with a block if you need to here. Start by lengthening through that spine. So grow tall again through the crown of your head and hinge from the hips. That front leg is still nice and flexed. You're pulling toward the toes back toward you. Aiming for that chin to get to the shin. Take your inhale. Exhale, soften, round. Allow the head to come down. Support it with a prop if you need to here. Once again, if you do want to add in that subtle twist, we can bring the left hand to the outside edge of your shin and the right fingertips back behind you. If you get to that point, you're like, I was so good where I was, come back. Keep that cup filling up. And if you are twisted, slowly come all the way back to a nice neutral fold. Take one more full cycle of your breath here. Big inhale. Full exhale. Move with that breath in as we start to rise all the way up. Taking that movement that you'd like here, as long as you need it. Whenever you feel ready, you can put on any layers. We're going to come to lay down on your back for the last couple of poses. No props will be necessary unless you want them for your Shavasana. Plant your feet down onto the mat, having your knees pointing up to the ceiling, and keep your feet about hip width apart. Bring your hands down beside your hips and start to roll your shoulders underneath your chest, almost like you're puffing it up. From here, keep your hands down so your palms are facing down. Push into your feet and lift your hips up into the air. Start to slowly bring those hips all the way back down and take a moment. Turn your palms up, tuck those shoulders a little bit further if you can here. Push into your feet, pick your hips back up. Maybe this is where you introduce a little bit more of that tucking of your shoulder blades underneath you. Looking for a good amount of height in those hips. Squeeze your glutes, keep reaching your knees out in front of you. And then slowly bring your hips all the way back down. Taking one of those two variations, or you can start to progress into interlacing your hands underneath you as those hips come up. So last bridge we'll take, slowly push into your feet, bring your hips up, find that range of motion that works for you. Keeping your arms nice and straight here. If they're interlaced, really pressing them down. Take one more full breath in. Use your exhale to slowly release your hands and come all the way back down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. You can take some time here to rock it out side to side. And coming into our last pose here, happy baby, bringing the elbows to the inside edges of your knees, holding on to the outside edges of your feet. Now start to find that 90-degree bend in your knees as you send the soles of your feet to the sky, even maybe introducing that playful motion, rocking side to side here. Can you start to plug your shoulders down just a little bit more, closer to the mat? Drawing your feet back together here, giving a soft release. Taking any last minute movements you'd like before we take our final pose or Shavasana. You can start to let go of some of that movement, allowing yourself to find that final pose. Maybe your legs extended out for your corpse pose, maybe a reclined butterfly, constructive rest position, or something else I haven't mentioned. And can you simply let go of any tension that you're holding on to here? Feel the weight of gravity as it pushes you down and the earth beneath you, supporting you like a pillow. As we further start to calm down your nervous system with your breath work, I encourage you here to take it just one long breath at a time. For this morning, we'll work with our Samavriti, which is our equal ratio breath, as we inhale slowly in through the nose to the count of 4, and exhale slowly to the count of 4 out through the nose. As always, if at any time you start to feel anxious, you can't catch your breath, please stop the breath control and let your body just breathe naturally. We'll start off with a nice cleansing breath. Take a full inhale through your nose and exhale side out through your mouth. We'll inhale through the nose to begin. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And start to let go of the breath control. And get lost in your Shavasana, fully relaxed. Start to come back into your physical form. Introduce a deeper breath. And find some subtle movements in your fingers, in your toes, even turning your head softly side to side. And letting those movements grow a little bit bigger, maybe reaching your arms up above your head, point your toes. And gently roll over to your right side. Allow your heart to settle. And keeping a soft gaze, your eyes remaining closed, push back up into your comfortable seat. Noticing how you feel at the end of our practice. Notice your cup. Is it a little more full? The sense of gratitude, joy, contentment, whatever your practice brings to you. Your challenge for the rest of the day that I'm going to give you here is to try to keep that balance with your cup. Notice what fills it up. Notice what starts to take away. And if there is a moment that starts to take some of that fluid out, can we take a step back and pause, maybe take a breath and come back in? Notice how you can fill it back up. Each day, your cup is going to look different. One day it might be more full, one day it might be empty. But just like in life, we want to find that balance. The yin and the yang, the light and the dark. Always a pleasure having all of you join me with our practice. Namaste.